Have you been wanting to learn how to build a terrarium, but you don't know where to start? Then this is the video for you. Hello my friends, my name is Christian and welcome to our channel. I'm here to help simplify terrariums and teach you about the world of creating sustainable ecosystems. In this video, I'm going to teach you about every step that it's going to take to make a terrarium, and you'll see a lot of different tutorials out there, but this is a simple process that I like to use. And at the end of this video, I'll tell you about 2 important things that you need to do to take care of one. Before we get started, here's a list of materials that you're going to need to make one. Alright, now we have our glass container. You can use any clear or lightly tinted glass, but I recommend starting off with a wide opening because if this is your first time, it's going to make it a lot easier to build without using tools. Now place in your lava rocks, which will act as drainage for when it's time to water. We need a sufficient layer covering just the base of the glass. Lava rocks are highly recommended because porous rocks are better at taking in more water, which will help to reduce the risk of overwatering and root rot. Next, sprinkle some activated charcoal. This is highly recommended but not required. It's used to prevent mold and provide nitrogen to plants' roots. Using fertilizer-free soil is very important for 2 reasons. First being it promotes slow growth for plants, and second, soil with fertilizer is originally designed to be washed out, and for nowhere for it to go in a terrarium, it can eventually turn into hazardous chemicals like ammonia, which is something we really don't want. For this part, we just want to fill the glass about 1/3 of the way, just leaving some room for when it's time to plant. I'm going to start placing large decorations like this big piece of driftwood. This is a great time to start thinking about the foundation for your terrarium and how you want it to look. Next step, which is my favorite step, we're going to start planting. Since this is a closed terrarium, you're going to want to look for high humidity loving plants. Before we place the plant, we're going to dig a little hole. I'm just going to use my finger here to dig a little hole for where I want to place the plant. And I think I'm going to use this table fern first. To remove the plant from the pot, I always start by gently squeezing the sides to loosen it up. Once I take it out, I want to remove as much of the parent soil as I can. Now that I have that taken care of, I can start placing it inside. Next is moss. Whenever I make a terrarium, I like to make sure the soil is covered whenever I'm looking at it from the top by some type of greenery or rock decoration. This step is very simple. I'm going to start ripping apart the moss and placing it inside. I like how this one's going so far, but I think I'm going to sprinkle in a little layer of pebbles. Our design is finally done and it's time to water. I have this spray bottle here filled with filtered water. You don't need a fancy spray bottle like this one. A normal drinking glass will do. Just fill it with water and then gently tilt over the terrarium and pour it like so. When you water, you want to work all around the glass. Keep in mind, less is more here. We want to be careful not to overwater because too much water will cause root rot and might destroy your terrarium. Water just enough until the soil saturates and darkens in color all around. This is also a great time to wipe and clean the glass. Now that we're all finished and done, it's time for me to tell you the 2 most important things that you need to keep in mind to take care of one. The plants you should be using in your terrarium are rainforest floor plants that love high humidity and bright indirect light. A good rule of thumb that you'll always hear me say is to place them by a north or east facing window. If this isn't an option for you, you can also use cool white LED lights. If you choose to go this route, you do not have to spend your money on anything fancy. I have found some great lights within my area and online for around $10. For a beginner, it can be really tough to know when a terrarium needs to be watered because they can last so long till they need to be watered again. If your container has a loose fitting lid like the one I just made, it can last around 3 months without needing to be watered again. But if it has a tight lid like a suction lid or a cork lid, it can go as long as a whole year. This longevity is due to the tightness of the lid because of the amount of air that escapes and can dry out the inside. When you think it's ready, always check if the soil is moist. You'll know the soil is dry if it is a light and airy brown and you don't see water or condensation on the glass. That's everything, and now you know all the basic steps and materials you need when making a terrarium, and what you need to keep in mind when taking care of one. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button. Also follow us on all of our socials on Instagram and TikTok, where we have a ton more terrarium content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.